The greatest lie ever told about wealth is that it requires complexity. They want you to believe you need advanced degrees, insider connections, generational privilege, or divine intervention. You do not. What you need is so simple, so brutally obvious that the masses walk past it every single day without seeing it. They are looking for the secret door when the front entrance has been wide open the entire time. Here is the truth that will make you uncomfortable. You are not poor because the system is rigged. You are poor because you refuse to see the system for what it actually is. You are playing by rules that were designed to make you lose, and you are doing it voluntarily. You wake up every morning, put on your uniform, and march into the machinery that grinds you into dust. Then you wonder why you are tired, broke, and resentful. Niccolo Machiavelli understood something 5 centuries ago that most people still cannot grasp today. The world does not reward virtue, it rewards effectiveness. It does not matter how good you are, how hard you work, or how much you suffer. What matters is whether you understand the mechanics of power and whether you are willing to use them. The person who understands leverage will always defeat the person who understands only effort. This is not opinion. This is observable reality. I'm going to show you why getting rich is simpler than you think. Not easier, but simpler. There is a difference. Simple means the path is clear. Easy means the path is comfortable. The path to wealth is crystal clear. It has always been clear. But it is deeply uncomfortable because it requires you to abandon the moral fairy tales you were fed as a child. It requires you to see humans as they are, not as you wish they were. It requires you to operate in reality instead of ideology. If you are looking for motivation, for feel-good content that tells you to follow your dreams and be yourself, leave now. This is not that. This is a dissection of the game. This is the operating manual they do not want you to read because once you understand it, you become ungovernable. You become dangerous. Not because you will harm anyone, but because you can no longer be controlled by shame, guilt, or the promise of a gold star. Stay with me and I will show you the invisible architecture of wealth. I will show you why the money flows away from you and toward others. I will show you the exact mental models that separate the wealthy from the perpetually struggling. But to see it, you must be willing to look at yourself honestly. You must be willing to admit that your poverty is not an accident. It is a consequence of your choices, your beliefs, and your tolerance for mediocrity. Let us begin with the first and most critical mistake. You have been taught that wealth is a reward for goodness. That if you are a good person, a loyal employee, a hard worker, eventually the universe will compensate you. This is a beautiful story. It is also completely false. Wealth is not a moral outcome. It is a mechanical outcome. It flows toward those who understand the laws of value, leverage, and exchange. It flows away from those who do not. Think about the wealthiest people you know, either personally or historically. Are they the kindest, the most ethical, the most generous? Sometimes yes, often no. What they are, universally, is effective. They understand how to create value that others are desperate to pay for. They understand how to position themselves as irreplaceable. They understand how to capture and multiply resources. Morality is optional. Effectiveness is mandatory. This is where most people fail before they even start. They are trying to get rich while clinging to a belief system that makes wealth impossible. They believe that wanting money is greedy. They believe that charging high prices is exploitative. They believe that self-promotion is arrogant. They believe that competition is mean. These beliefs are chains. They are keeping you exactly where you are. And the people who taught you these beliefs, your parents, your teachers, your religious leaders, they were likely broke too. You are taking financial advice from people who never won the game. Machiavelli wrote that a prince must learn how not to be good, not how to be evil, but how not to be constrained by conventional morality when the situation demands pragmatism. In the context of wealth, this means you must be willing to make people uncomfortable. You must be willing to say no. You must be willing to charge what you are worth even when people gasp. You must be willing to fire people who are not performing. You must be willing to walk away from deals that do not serve you. You must be willing to prioritize your financial survival over the approval of strangers. Most of you reading this right now are trapped in what I call the morality tax. You are paying a premium in lost income and lost opportunities because you are trying to be light. You undercharge because you do not want to seem greedy. You overdeliver because you do not want to seem lazy. You say yes to requests because you do not want to seem selfish. Every single one of these behaviors is costing you thousands, maybe millions over your lifetime. You are donating your potential to people who will never thank you for it. Here is the second mistake. You think getting rich is complicated because you are confusing the vehicle with the destination. The destination is simple. You need to control more resources than you consume. That is it. That is wealth in one sentence. You need money coming in faster than money going out, and you need the surplus to be invested in assets that generate more money. This is not quantum physics. A child could understand this. But you have been sold the idea that you need a special strategy, a secret formula, a proprietary system. You do not. You need discipline, and you need to stop lying to yourself. The vehicle, how you generate the income, can take many forms. You can build a business. You can invest in real estate. You can create digital products. You can sell high-ticket services. You can trade your expertise for equity. There are 1,000 ways to do it, but all of them, every single one, require the same foundational understanding. You must create or control something that other people value more than their money. That is the entire game. Let me say that again because it is the hinge on which everything turns. You must create or control something that other people value more than their money. Not something you think is valuable. Not something that required a lot of effort. Not something that is morally good. Something that solves a problem they are desperate to fix. Something that removes pain they are suffering. Something that gives them a result they are willing to pay for. This is where the 99% go wrong. They are building things they want to build. They are offering services they want to offer. They are creating products they think are cool. And then they are confused when nobody buys. They take it personally. They think the market is stupid. They think people do not appreciate quality. No, the market is telling you the truth. You are solving a problem that does not exist, or you are solving it for people who do not have money. Machiavelli was obsessed with studying what actually works, not what should work. He looked at history and saw that the princes who survived were not the most virtuous. They were the most adaptable. They were the ones who could read the room, understand what people actually wanted, and give it to them. If you want to be wealthy, you must become a student of desire. Not your desire, their desire. What keeps your target market awake at night? What are they ashamed of? What are they afraid of? What do they want so badly they can taste it? If you can answer those questions, and if you can position yourself as the solution, money will flow to you effortlessly. Not because you are manipulating anyone, but because you are providing genuine value in the currency they care about. You are scratching an itch they cannot reach. This is not exploitation, this is exchange. But you must be willing to enter their world, to speak their language, to understand their pain. Most people are too self-absorbed to do this. They want to be understood, not to understand. This is why they stay poor. The third mistake is the belief that effort equals income. You have been conditioned to think that if you just work harder, longer, more intensely, you will eventually break through. This is the lie that keeps the machine running. Effort is not the variable that determines wealth. Leverage is. You can work 16 hours a day carrying bricks and you will never be rich. You can work 4 hours a day writing code that runs on a server while you sleep and you will become a millionaire. The difference is not effort. The difference is leverage. Leverage means you get more output than input. It means your work is multiplied by systems, by other people, by technology, by capital. The wealthy understand this instinctively. They are not trying to work harder. They are trying to work smarter. They are trying to build machines that produce results without their constant presence. A business is a machine. An investment portfolio is a machine. A piece of content that gets views for years is a machine. If you are trading hours for dollars, you have zero leverage. You are the machine, and machines wear out. Here is what you need to do. Stop thinking about income as a function of time. Start thinking about income as a function of value creation and capture. How can you create something once that pays you multiple times? How can you position yourself so that your income is decoupled from your presence? This is the shift that changes everything. This is the shift from laborer to owner, from employee to entrepreneur, from renter to landlord. You do not need to start a Fortune 500 company. You need to start something, anything, that has the potential to scale beyond your personal time. A YouTube channel, a newsletter, a course, a software tool, a service business that you can eventually hire people to run. The specific vehicle does not matter. What matters is that you are building an asset, not just earning a paycheck. The fourth mistake, and this one is psychological, is that you are waiting for permission. You are waiting for someone to tell you that you are ready. You are waiting for the perfect moment. You are waiting for the fear to go away. Machiavelli would tell you that fortune favors the bold, not the reckless, but the bold. The person who acts while others hesitate. The person who takes the risk while others calculate. Every single successful person you admire started before they were ready. They did not have all the answers. They did not have all the resources. They did not have certainty. What they had was a willingness to move in the face of uncertainty. They understood that action creates information. You cannot think your way to wealth. You have to build your way to wealth. You have to test, iterate, fail, adjust, and try again. But you have been paralyzed by the need for safety. You want to guarantee that it will work before you start. There is no guarantee. There is only probability. And the probability increases dramatically when you take action, when you put yourself in the game, when you expose yourself to opportunity. Sitting on the sidelines analyzing is not strategy. It is fear dressed up as prudence. Here is the fifth mistake. You are consuming instead of creating. You are spending your time, your attention, your energy on things that do not build assets. You are scrolling. You are watching. You are playing. You are escaping. And every hour you spend consuming is an hour you are not spending building. The wealthy create. The poor consume. This is not a moral judgment. This is an observation. Look at your screen time. How many hours a day are you on social media, on Netflix, on games, on news? Now imagine if you took just half of that time and redirected it toward building a skill, creating content, networking, learning, executing. In 1 year, your life would be unrecognizable, but you will not do it. Because consumption is easy and creation is hard. Consumption gives you instant gratification. Creation gives you delayed gratification, and you have been trained to prefer the instant hit. Machiavelli understood that most people are governed by their appetites, by their need for comfort, by their aversion to discomfort. The prince, the person who wants to rule their own life, must be different. They must be willing to endure short-term discomfort for long-term gain. They must be willing to delay gratification. They must be willing to be bored, to be tired, to be uncertain, because on the other side of that discomfort is freedom. The sixth mistake is that you are underpricing yourself. You are charging based on what you think you are worth, or worse, what you think people can afford. This is backwards. Price is a signal. It tells the market what category you are in. When you charge low prices, you signal that you are a commodity. You attract price-sensitive customers who will drain your energy and never be satisfied. When you charge high prices, you signal that you are a premium offering. You attract clients who value quality, who respect your time, who are easier to work with. But you are afraid to charge what you are worth because you are afraid of rejection. You are afraid people will say no. Let me tell you something that will change your business forever. You want people to say no. You want to filter out the people who are not a fit. Every low-paying, high-maintenance client you take on is stealing time and energy from the high-paying, low-maintenance clients you could be serving. Your goal is not to serve everyone. Your goal is to serve the right people at the right price. When you raise your prices, 3 things happen. First, you make more money per transaction, which means you need fewer clients to hit your income goals. Second, you attract better clients who value your work and treat you as respect. Third, you create space in your schedule to do better work, which makes you even more valuable. This is a virtuous cycle, but it starts with the courage to charge what you are actually worth. The 7th mistake is that you are trying to do everything yourself. You are holding on to tasks that are beneath your pay grade because you think no one else can do them as well as you. This is ego disguised as perfectionism. Machiavelli wrote that a prince cannot do everything. He must delegate. He must surround himself with capable people and trust them to execute. If you are doing $10 an hour tasks when your time is worth $100 an hour, You are losing $90 every hour. You are literally burning money. You need to become ruthless about your time. Every task you do should be evaluated. Is this the highest and best use of my time? If not, delegate it, automate it, or eliminate it. You should only be doing things that only you can do. Everything else should be handled by someone else or by a system. This is how you scale. This is how you buy your time back. This is how you move from operator to owner. The eighth mistake is that you are not thinking in systems. You are thinking in tasks. You wake up and you ask, what do I need to do today? The wealthy wake up and ask, what system do I need to build today? A system is a repeatable process that produces a consistent result. If you have to manually do something every time, it is not a system, it is a job. Your goal is to build systems that run without you. This applies to everything. Marketing is a system. Sales is a system. Delivery is a system. Customer service is a system. Finance is a system. If you build these systems correctly, your business runs while you sleep. If you do not, you are trapped in a job you created for yourself. Most entrepreneurs are not entrepreneurs. They are self-employed. They traded one boss for 1,000 customers. Do not make this mistake. Build the systems first, then scale. The ninth mistake is that you are focused on income instead of assets. Income is what you earn. Assets are what you own. Income can disappear overnight. Assets generate income indefinitely. If you make $1 million this year and spend it all, you are not wealthy. You are just temporarily flush. Wealth is measured by assets, not income. The goal is to convert income into assets as quickly as possible. What is an asset? Anything that puts money in your pocket without requiring your active labor. Real estate, stocks, bonds. A business that runs without you. Intellectual property, royalties. These are assets. A car is not an asset. A watch is not an asset. A vacation is not an asset. These are expenses. The wealthy buy assets. The poor buy liabilities and call them assets. Here is the rule. You never buy luxuries with your labor. You buy luxuries with the cash flow from your assets. If you want a nice car, great. Buy an asset that generates enough passive income to cover the car payment. Then the asset owns the car, not you. This is how you build wealth without sacrifice. You are not depriving yourself. You are sequencing correctly. Assets first, luxuries second. The 10th mistake is that you are trying to get rich alone. You think wealth is a solo journey. It is not. Every wealthy person you know has a network. They have mentors. They have partners. They have advisors. They have access. Wealth is a team sport. You need to be around people who are ahead of you, who can open doors, who can teach you what you do not know. But you are probably spending all your time with people who are at your level or below. Machiavelli understood that alliances are everything. A prince without allies is a prince waiting to be overthrown. You need to become obsessed with building relationships with people who have what you want. Not in a transactional way, but in a genuine way. Provide value, be useful, be reliable. Over time, these relationships will become your greatest asset. Opportunities do not come from job boards. They come from conversations. But here is the thing. You cannot build a powerful network if you have nothing to offer. You need to become valuable first. You need to develop skills, build a reputation, create results. Then people will want to know you. Then doors will open. This is why the first few years are about building yourself. You are becoming the person who is worth knowing. You are becoming dangerous in the best possible way. The 11th mistake, and this is the one that kills most people, is that you quit too early. You start something. You do not see results immediately. You get discouraged. You stop. Then you start something else. Same cycle. You have been doing this for years. You have a graveyard of half-finished projects. You tell yourself you are exploring options. You are not. You are afraid of commitment. You are afraid that if you go all in and it does not work, you will have to face the truth about yourself. Here is the truth. Nothing works quickly. Every successful business, every wealthy person, every breakthrough took longer than expected. The difference between the people who make it and the people who do not is simply this. The people who make it did not quit. They kept going when it was hard. They kept going when they were not seeing results. They kept going when everyone told them to stop. They had conviction. You need to pick something and commit to it for at least 2 years. Not dabble, not try. Commit. Go all in. Burn the boats. Make it impossible to fail because you have no other option. This is what separates the amateurs from the professionals. Amateurs quit when it gets hard. Professionals understand that hard is part of the process. Hard is where everyone else drops out. Hard is where you win. Machiavelli wrote that fortune is a river, and when it floods, it destroys everything in its path. But the wise prince builds dams and channels in times of peace, so that when the flood comes, he is protected. You need to build your dam now. You need to put in the work now when it is not urgent, so that when opportunity comes, you are ready. Most people wait until they are desperate. By then, it is too late. The 12th and final mistake is that you are treating wealth as the goal. It is not. Wealth is a tool. The goal is freedom. The goal is autonomy. The goal is to wake up and do what you want, when you want, with whom you want. Money is just the mechanism that buys you that freedom. If you are chasing money for the sake of money, you will never have enough. There will always be someone with more. You will always feel inadequate. But if you are chasing freedom, then you have a clear target. How much do you need to cover your expenses? How much do you need to never work again? That is your number. For some people, it is 1 million. For others, it is 10 million. It does not matter. What matters is that you know your number and you are working toward it with precision. Every dollar you make should be measured against that goal. Is this getting me closer or further away? Here is the simple truth that no one wants to hear. Getting rich is not complicated, it is a math problem. You need to increase income, decrease expenses, and invest the difference in assets that grow. That is it. That is the formula. The reason people do not get rich is not because they do not know the formula. It is because they are not willing to do what the formula requires. They are not willing to sacrifice. They are not willing to delay gratification. They are not willing to be uncomfortable. You want the result, but you do not want the process. You want the destination, but you do not want the journey. This is why you are stuck. You are looking for a shortcut that does not exist. There is no hack. There is no secret. There is only the work. And the work is simple. It is just not easy. So what do you do now? You make a decision. You decide that you are done being poor. You decide that you are done making excuses. You decide that you are willing to do whatever it takes within ethical bounds to change your situation. You pick a vehicle. You commit to it. You build the skills. You provide value. You charge what you are worth. You invest the surplus. You build systems. You network. You stay consistent. You do not quit. And in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, you look back and you realize you are unrecognizable. You are wealthy. Not because you got lucky. Not because someone gave you a break. But because you understood the game and you played it better than everyone else. You became effective. You became strategic. You became Machiavellian in the best sense of the word. You stopped waiting for the world to be fair and you started making it work for you. This is the path. It is not hidden. It is not complicated. It is just unpopular. Because it requires you to take responsibility. It requires you to admit that your current situation is the result of your choices. And most people would rather blame the system, blame their parents, blame the economy than look in the mirror and admit the truth. But you are still here, which means you are different. You are willing to hear the truth. You are willing to do the work. You are willing to become the person who wins. So stop overcomplicating it. Stop looking for the magic bullet. Stop waiting for permission. The door is open. Walk through it.